I'm 100%. This is, yeah? We're going in here 100%. I'm going into this fight 100% Conor McGregor, not 92. 100% Conor McGregor. So it has to be really meticulous. We were right there with the last one. As a unit, we do it, right? Let's go, let's go.
Mystic Mac is back. I'm super excited. When I saw it, I got goosebumps. And my voice locked in. I've heard Conor McGregor is being back 20 times over the last year. I see his training footage, he looks good. Then you have Max Holloway. I love him. I think he's an incredible fighter. Him and Holloway 13 years ago. And he had to grapple with Holloway. Conor was able to take him down and out-grapple him there. This is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a striking fight, of course. I can't wait.
I think by now we know what we get out of Conor McGregor. He gasses out in probably 2 to 3 rounds. Gets a second win if he's able to get into the later rounds. But what I'm seeing is not convincing me that Conor McGregor's shape will be the right one for a man in Max Holloway who has the most weaponized pace in all of combat sports. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. All right, so Conor McGregor was in Laguna Beach this week. No one told me. Everybody knows when you come to Orange County, you got to check in with the big boss. Hurt my shoulder a little bit doing that. Conor's current shape while walking on the beach in Laguna. Let's take a look. I mean, again, you know, he's outside of the balding hair, everything looks pretty solid. Obviously, you know, broad shoulders, the whole deal. Not cutting a ton of weight. He's probably about 180 pounds here, maybe a little more. I'm on my rest day today.
Conor McGregor hasn't fought since July 10th, 2021. We're looking at a clean 5 years come time. He's 1-3 in his last 4 bouts. Doesn't have the best luck against southpaws, Dustin Poirier, Nate Diaz. He's taking on Max Holloway. Okay, Max Holloway, 27-9, 34 years in his absolute prime right now. He is 4-2 in his last 6 bouts. Last fight came from Charles Oliveira, body locking him, taking him down. Dustin Poirier, decision, unanimous. Ilya Topuria KO Justin Gaethje. He KO'd Justin Gaethje, KO'd Han Sung Jung. And I'm pumped because we get to see the notorious, the godly notorious. He's coming back. He's a big church guy now.
Right now, the notorious one right in front of us. Conor McGregor looking absolutely shredded. He looks in good shape. He's boxing. You always tell. I wonder if Conor wears that when he does the MMA sparring, or is he just focusing more on boxing? So he looks like he's in great shape. Obviously, Conor McGregor, last time we saw him in the octagon, he broke his leg against Dustin Poirier. So he's been out for a couple of years, living a big life on the yacht, selling the delicious paparoski. Or here we go right here. So the one thing that I will say that Conor, that he, you know, if you look at his style from now to when he first fought, is he was way more, I felt, dynamic. What do I mean by dynamic? If you go back and watch his fights and his training that he used to do when he was coming up at 145, he was more about being a lot like back and forth and being lighter on his toes, throwing spinning stuff and looking for the shot. Now he seems to take this approach of being more stiff in his stance. You look when he fought Dustin Poirier the second time. The third time, he was a lot better. The second time when he fought Nate Diaz, he was a lot more stiff. It's almost like a shift in his style.
We've got Conor McGregor making his return. What was your reaction when that was announced?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Big name for our sports, and but he have tough opponents. Max Holloway against Conor. I think Max can beat him.
Conor McGregor has never been the type to sit back and let his fighting do all the talking ahead of a big event. The man thrives on noise, on pressure, on getting inside people's heads long before the first punch is ever thrown. And right now, with his upcoming clash against Max Holloway drawing closer by the day, McGregor is turning up the heat in a very deliberate and calculated way. The trash talk has been coming in steady waves, and the training footage he keeps dropping online is doing exactly what he wants it to do, making people stop, watch, and wonder. Every clip he puts out seems seems to carry a message, not just to the general public, not just to the fans who eat this stuff up, but directly to Max Holloway. McGregor is essentially sending a warning letter, except instead of paper and ink, he is using highlight reels and sharp words. People who follow the sport closely are paying attention to every single frame of those videos, trying to read between the lines and figure out whether this is the real Conor McGregor they are seeing, the one who once ran through the featherweight division like it was nothing, or whether this is all part of the mental chess match he has always been so good at playing. That question is genuinely hard to answer. McGregor has always blurred the line between performance and reality, and that is honestly a big part of what makes him so entertaining and so dangerous at the same time. When he walks into a press conference or drops a video online, you never fully know how much of it is theater and how much of it is pure, unfiltered confidence. But what does seem clear right now is that he is locked in. He looks sharp, he looks hungry, and he clearly wants to walk into that octagon and remind everybody, including Holloway, that there is still only one man who owns that space when things get serious. Whether that version of McGregor actually shows up on fight night is a different question entirely. But the buildup has been loud, it has been focused, and it has had everyone in the combat sports world paying close attention.
You think Conor wins?
Absolutely. It's not an easy fight. Max is very good at what he does. He's obviously been in there against the best guys in the world repeatedly over and over and over again. But whilst Conor's been inactive, the hunger will start to thrive in his mind and in his skull. And at 170 pounds, I think this fight's very, very interesting. I think it's very interesting. Conor's going to have the knockout power.
One of the more interesting parts of the conversation around this fight has been McGregor opening up about how the matchup with Holloway actually came together behind the scenes. And what he revealed was a bit surprising, because according to McGregor, he did not go out of his way to specifically request Holloway as his next opponent. The fight landed on his plate not because of some grand strategic plan, but essentially because the options on the table kept shrinking until Holloway was the one name left standing. McGregor made it pretty clear in his own words that this was not a situation where he sat down with his team and said he wanted Holloway. It was more a case of other potential opponents either falling out of negotiations or simply not being viable for one reason or another. Some of those conversations never got off the ground at all, and others had complications tied to weight class issues. Certain matchups that may have made sense on paper would have required McGregor to drop back down to lightweight, and that was apparently not something he was willing or ready to do at this point. So when the UFC presented the name, McGregor accepted, and that actually says something interesting about where his head is at right now. He was not sitting around being selective or waiting for a specific target. He made it clear that he was open to whoever the promotion put in front of him, that he would take the name they gave him and step into the cage regardless of who was on the other side. That kind of mentality, whether it comes from genuine confidence or from just being eager to compete again, is worth noting. It also adds a layer to how we should look at this fight. This is not a matchup born out of some long, simmering rivalry or a specific call-out that gained traction. It is a fight that materialized because McGregor was available, willing, and Holloway ended up being the best fit given the circumstances. What happens when the two of them actually stand across from each other in that octagon remains to be seen, but the road to getting here has been anything but straightforward. That said, Max Holloway is not exactly a consolation prize. The man is one of the best to ever compete at featherweight. His record speaks for itself, his pressure is relentless, and his ability to break fighters down over the course of a fight is genuinely elite. McGregor accepting a fight against Holloway, regardless of how the matchup came together, is not a safe or comfortable choice. It is a real test, and both fighters know it.
How do we get to Max? It seemed like you had the pick of the litter. Why Max?
Again, they picked that.
Oh,
they picked that.
All right.
I had the date. They picked it. It just became Max. They didn't like the way the shape of the other belt went. There was a lot of
the BMF.
Yeah, well, you know.
Was Oliveira discussed at any point?
No.
Diaz?
No. No, it just felt the only one that was there was Holloway.
Really?
It just landed on
Praches?
Holloway.
What was the story with Praches?
Praches, Praches, that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, that's the Brazilian.
Listen, they said to me about him. I said, yeah, no problem. Send the contract. So I'm saying, yeah, for about 2 weeks. Where's the fucking contract? No contract came. Do you know what it was? They wanted me back down at 155 pounds.
Okay.
So I think they were trying to throw names at me to say, well, I said, yes, no problem. So your man went 5 rounds with Gary. I seen the fight. Little southpaw, little whippy southpaw. So yeah, no problem. I'm a 170 pounder at the minute.
So here we are, looking at a fight that has the combat sports world buzzing, and the only real question that matters now is what actually happens when that cage door swings shut and the two of them are locked in together with nowhere to go and nothing left to say. On one side, you have McGregor coming back with something to prove. He has been loud in the build-up, he has been putting in work, and every indication from his camp and from the footage he has shared suggests he is treating this as a serious comeback moment. He wants to reassert himself. He wants to walk back into the conversation as a title contender and remind the sport that he is not done. His best weapon has always been that left hand, and if he lands it clean on Holloway, the fight can end in a blink. That is the reality of fighting McGregor. The danger is always there. On the other side, you have Holloway, who is built differently. He does not rely on one punch or one moment to win fights. He relies on volume, on cardio that never seems to run out, and on a kind of forward pressure that just wears opponents down round by round. Holloway has been in deep water before and come out swinging. He is not the type to get rattled by trash talk or by a viral training video. He shows up, he fights his fight, and more often than not, he finds a way to win. The early rounds could very well favor McGregor if he comes out sharp and keeps the fight from turning into a pace war. The longer this goes, though, the harder it becomes for him. Holloway's style is designed to make you feel like you are slowly running out of gas, and McGregor's activity levels over the past few years have not exactly been at their peak. Rust is real, and ring time matters. Those are factors that could play into how this fight unfolds. But then again, you never fully count out Conor McGregor. That is a lesson the sport has learned more than once. He has a way of making moments, of rising to the occasion when the stakes are high enough, and there is no bigger stage than a fight of this magnitude with this much behind it. Who takes it? Does McGregor's timing hold up long enough to land the shot that changes everything, or does Holloway's pressure grind him down and take over by the middle rounds? That is the fight. That is the question. Drop your prediction in the comments below and let the world know who you have coming out on top. If you have been enjoying this kind of breakdown and analysis, make sure to hit that like button, get yourself subscribed, and stay locked in because there is a lot more fight content on the way.